My name is Kamal Khalil, and the title of my speech is This Is Me, or Is It? Imagine looking up and realizing the hell you've unleashed in front of you. You have no recollection or remembrance of doing any of this, but all the trails lead back to you. This is just a small glimpse of what it's like living with dissociative identity disorder. Now that I've informed you on the seriousness of dissociative identity disorder, I'll now tell you about DID. First, I'll tell you what exactly it is. Next, I'll tell you some of the effects. And lastly, I'll give you the causes of it, as well as some possible solutions to solve this mental disease. I'm qualified to talk about this topic because I've done weeks of research on it. Now, to start you off, I'm going to tell you what exactly DID is. DID is a mental illness that alters a human's state of reality into thinking that you are multiple people in one. While 50% of grown adults have experienced one dissociative experience, only 1.5% of the entire population is actually diagnosed with this mental disease. According to a study done by Jeanette Kennett, an altered personality is a state of a person in which the person's concept of self has been distorted or diminished. Now, basically what this means is when you have DID, you feel like an entirely new person. You're completely separated from your true self. Examples of this in media would be the movie Split, in which the main character has over 23 personalities and it leads him to kidnapping 3 little girls. Another example of this would be The Orphan. The Orphan is a movie about a grown woman who believes she is a young girl and she constantly changes her personality in order to find a home for her to fit in because, as the title states, she's an orphan. Now that I've given you some context as to what DID is, I'll now give you some effects of DID. DID can bring about many harmful effects, including delusion, as well as memory loss, due to the traumatic causes of the disease, which we will get into later. People usually rely on their different personalities to escape these damaging memories that they suppressed since their childhood. According to a report by Bogdan Patrici on DID and its effects, when identity is fragmented along with memory, you gain complete amnesia or DIDs, causing you to completely depersonalize from your true self. Now, basically what this means is, if you have DID, you are more susceptible to delusions as well as amnesia, meaning you will forget a lot of the stuff that's happened within your true self because you're constantly creating new personalities, eventually leading you to becoming an entirely new person. Two case studies of DID would be, for one, Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy is a well-known serial killer who is known because he intrigued women by using one of his personalities. He is known to have 2 personalities. His first personality is charming, charismatic, which is the one that lured plenty of women near his car, only for him to brutally murder them. Another example of a case study of DID is William Stanley Milligan. William Stanley Milligan was a 22-year-old man who stepped onto an Ohio campus and raped 3 women. When he was taken into trial, he pleaded not guilty due to insanity, and we later found out that he had 23 separate personalities. Now that I've given you some effects of DID, I'll now inform you of the causes as well as potential therapy to control and suppress DID. DID is mostly caused by past trauma from childhood, and it can cause you to be, like I said before, create new personalities. In a study done by Karen Baker, she states, in cases of extreme childhood trauma associated with abuse and neglect, one's sense of self is seriously compromised. Attachment patterns, symptoms, defense operations, and character formation will differ depending upon the level of interference and impingement. When repeated trauma occurs in early childhood, the dissociative response may become the first line of defense for the person to rely upon. Basically, what this means is when a child is constantly being abused by his parents, his or her parents, they suppress those memories by creating new personalities, as well as completely changing how they learn and behave in popular or in society. This causes them to put up different walls to protect them from these memories and to constantly run and escape from them. An example of this would be a child who is bullied in middle school. This child is constantly being bullied over and over and over and over again. But this child also watches Spider-Man and other superheroes. This child may begin to believe that one day he will fight back, and also lead him to believe that he's a superhero. Now, while this may not be harmful to other people and to oneself, it is a good example of what DID causes to a child and what it can cause a child to do in the future if not taken care of. On that note, there are many ways to take care of DID from a childhood's point of view. One way is talk therapy. Talk therapy is when you speak to your therapist about what you're going through, as well as why you're experiencing these things. The therapist tells you about your past and about the reasons why you act the way you do if you may feel confused. Another example of this is cognitive behavioral therapy. Now, while this is similar to talk therapy, this focuses more on your thoughts and why you think the way you do, causing you to create new personalities. This focuses more on the brain rather than the actual actions. Today, I've talked to you about DID, the effects of DID, as well as the causes and possible solutions to DID. Now, the next time you feel as though your past is coming to haunt you, or you feel yourself running from these past traumas, I advise you to talk to a therapist or anyone that can help you talk through the reason why you feel like this. It's okay to feel like this, but when you don't take advantage of it, it can cause you to, in essence, create new personalities, which nobody wants. Thank you.